hello there. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 is a huge improvement over the last game. It not only has like a more characters from classic Nicktoons like Invader Zim, but it also marks the first ever appearance of the Loud House characters in a home console game, not counting the Loud House Ultimate Treehouse and mobile games. Yeah, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 has an excellent roster, but there are some characters that were omitted from the game, and of course, I'm gonna count down the top 10 characters that should have been in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Hopefully we'll get to see these characters in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. Actually, it's the top 11, because I like to go one number higher. Alright, let's start the countdown. Number 11 is, well, I wasn't going to put her on this list, but I would be hounded by endless "you forgot" comments if I didn't put her in there. Number 11 is Mikko from Glitch Techs. Yeah, I'm honestly not a fan of this show. It's alright, but it could have been a lot better. Especially with Mikko. Her ADHD problems could have been implemented better rather than her being a parody of ADHD. Yeah, that's just me though. Anyways, Mikko was well, one of the main characters in that show, and of course, Mikko didn't appear in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Well, some people might want to see her in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, but I'm honestly not a big fan of Glitch Techs. I'm not a fan of the show, but I much rather watch it than something like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Just don't tell someone that, okay? Yeah. And of course, her cart would have looked like something like a yellow car with a cat logo on it. You be the judge. You be the judge whether or not you want her in her normal outfit or the Glitch Techs uniform. Yeah, she is pretty wide though, although not as wide as Carlota. Don't get my videos demonetized, okay? Okay. Alright, get that out of your head. Alright, let's move on to the next pick. And this is from a show that, well, this character's from a show that I actually do like. And let's move on to number 10. Number 10 is, well, Ground Chuck. Because, well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a Nickelodeon property. And of course I had to put a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character in there. Now, why should Ground Chuck appear in the character roster in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2? Well, he should have appeared because, well, he is one of the coolest mutated animals in the show. He's basically a bull that's ready to start something. I mean, he's a bull of brute strength, and of course the toy itself is well, is pretty cool. And he would be great as a kart racer, and his vehicle would probably be some sort of, well, his cart would be some sort of a off-road truck with a bull bar on it and a cow hoop on the bull bar. Yeah, not much to say here except Ground Chuck would definitely be an awesome pick for Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Oh well, you can always see him in Nickelodeon Kart Racers free. Alright, on to the next choice. Alright, number 9 and 8 are shared by 2 characters. Daggett and Nobort from Angry Beavers. You see, Daggett and Nobort, or however you want to pronounce it, they're the 2 main characters from Angry Beavers, and of course, well, I put them low on the list because, well, hardly anybody remembers this show. I bet none of you young kids remember what the show is. Angry Beavers is basically a cartoon about 2 angry beavers that are called Nobert and Daggett. I haven't seen the show myself, okay? Yeah, they're the 2 main characters of Angry Beavers. Yeah. And of course, well, they did appear in Nicktoons Racing. They didn't appear in Nickelodeon's Kart Racers 2. They would have been 2 separate characters. Or they would have been 2 characters that joined alongside each other like Cat Dog. It depends on how you look at it. Their carts would have been like carts made out of wood. Like a log cart. Similar to the early record-breaking cars in the late 1800s, except made out of wood. Well, at least it looks similar. Yeah, on to number 7, and this one really hurts. And I will explain to you why. Number 7 is R.A. Santiago from the Loud House in Casa Grandes. Yeah, this one really hurts. Why? Because, well, Lincoln is in the game, but Ronnie Ann isn't. Yeah, and Ronnie Ann and Lincoln can't be seen without each other, like, just like Clyde. And not to mention, she's the main character of the Casa Grandes. Well, some of you might not like the Loud House, but some of you might like the Casa Grandes. Even though the Casa Grandes is a spin-off show. But as in the case of Superman the Animated Series, sometimes people are more of a fan of the spin-off series than the main series itself. It all depends on your point of view. Yeah. Ronnie Ann Santiago, well, not having her in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 really bit the mark, because some people just like to ship her with Lincoln, and not having her alongside Lincoln was really devastating and unfortunate. Oh well, can always say see her in the next game. Alright, on to the next pick, and well, this pick was really obvious, because you know who he is. Let's go. Of course, number 6 goes to the boy himself, Jimmy Neutron, the boy genius himself, man. Because, well, Jimmy Neutron is actually becoming more and more popular in terms of internet memes. Well, I know that Nickelodeon's trying to distance itself from Jimmy Neutron, because, well, Planet Sheen, but still, it would have been cool if Jimmy Neutron himself appeared in a Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Because, well, he's the boy genius. And, of course, having him in there would have been cool. And it would have been cool to see him pilot a kart version of the rocket ship. and Goddard would have been like a crew member. That would have all been awesome. And of course, the same spot also goes to Planet Sheen. Well, Sheen from Jimmy Neutron and the infamous Planet Sheen for the same reasons. I'm not going to explain in detail of why I didn't put separate spots for them. It's because, well, they both would have been great options for the game itself, and both would have been pretty cool to play as. Because Jimmy Neutron is always going to be a great cartoon. Alright, on to the fifth one. And, well, you know who he is. He's that boy in a pink shirt. Let's go. Alright, the number 5 pick goes to Timmy Turner from the Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah, it was pretty obvious that I was going to put him on this list. Because, well, if you're going to talk about Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, what characters should have been in the game, you might as well bring him up. Alright, so Timmy Turner is basically the main character in Fairly Odd Parents, which just so happens to be one of my favorite childhood cartoons of all time. And it would have been cool if he appeared in that game, although I would assume that, well, Nickelodeon's trying to distance themselves from the infamous final season of Fairly Odd Parents. I'm not sure. It would have been cool if he appeared in that game still, but I'm not sure which kart he should drive though. Should he drive that muscle car with the exposed supercharger seen in the intro, or should he drive a cartified version of Mr. Turner's Ford Fairlane station wagon? I don't know. It's something to think about. Yeah, sorry for Discord pinging. Yeah. And it would have been pretty sweet if Cosmo and Wanda existed as, like, crew members in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Oh well, we'll always get a shot at Nickelodeon Kart Racers free. And we're on to the 4th pick, and I wanted to keep this character separate from the other character that she's friends with. Let's talk about her. Alright. The number 4 spot goes to Sid Chang from the Casa Grandes and the Loud House. Well, she's actually called Sid Chang. But what's her full name gonna be? Yeah, she is a good friend of Ronnie Ann, and of course, is another character that people like to ship with Lincoln. Which is devastating to know why she didn't appear in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, especially her vehicle would have been like, her kart would have been really wicked. Yeah. Since Sid Chang is an Asian American, her kart would have been like a nice tribute to this car. Are you looking? Well, you should look. You should look. Alright. Yeah, her kart would have been a nice tribute to this car. The famous Toyota Sprinter Tirreno from Initial D. That's why she's higher up on the list than Timmy Turner. Because of this reason alone. She'll be running in the 90s, trying to win the race. Except her kart would have been slightly altered in order to avoid licensing issues, and her kart would have been purple, but still a nice tribute to Takumi Fujiwara's famous kart. Yeah. This is the reason why she's higher up on the list, not because of her being a Loud House character, because this. Or, you can have her drive this car, a cardified version of this car, should be looking. The Devil's Head from Wongon Midnights. Except, the design would have been altered a bit in order to avoid licensing issues, and it would have been purple. Still would have been pretty cool. It's all about the technique and how she drifts. Yeah. On to the next character, and she is a robot. Number 3 goes to none other than Jenny Wakeman from, well, the forgotten but still pretty rad My Life as a Teenage Robot. And who said that My Life as a Teenage Robot is one of the worst Nicktoons alongside the X's? Whoever said that obviously had no idea how awesome this show is, because it is a really great show. I mean, come on, go ahead and watch it. It's a good show. And Jenny Wakeman is a great character. She's the main character in the show, obviously, and she's also voiced by the same voice actress who did the voice for Ami Onuki in Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, Janice Kawai. Yeah, hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, because I'll get hounded by comments if I don't. Yeah, she's a cool robot that sounds like Ami, which makes her even cooler. And I think her cart would have been something like a cart with a futuristic car that would have had some sort of jet turbine on the back for decoration. It would have been cool. No idea why she isn't in the game, because, well, it's another one of the childhood Nicktoons. And that didn't stop the Nickelodeon from putting Invader Zim and Goor in, well, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Oh well, Jenny will always get a chance in the third game. Let's move on to the second person, and the second character. And this character's not really a character; it's a real person. You want to see who he is? All right, let's go. All right, the number 2 pick goes to Coolio. Well, we have JoJo Siwa in the game, and she's not even a character in a cartoon. She's a real person. She's a singer. So why not have Coolio in there as well? He's a singer, and he did appear in a Nickelodeon show once. All That. He appeared in one episode in All That as a guest star. And that's ironic, considering that Coolio said that Gangsta's Paradise is too serious to be parodied, although he appears in a Nickelodeon show. Yeah. Makes you think, doesn't it? Yeah, Coolio is a famous rapper who's known for the hit songs Gangsta's Rap and Fantastic Voyage. I mean, Gangsta's Paradise and Fantastic Voyage. He's known for these 2 famous songs. They're pretty cool. Yeah, they're pretty good to listen to. Rap and heavy metal are 2 of my favorite music genres. Especially Coolio. And he's got a really sweet crossover song with Snoop Dogg called Gangsta Walk. Yeah, his cart would have been like some sort of lowrider. Yeah, and it would have been great to have like a singer to go up against JoJo Siwa as well. They're both singers that have appeared in some form of Nickelodeon. Alright, before we go to number 1, we're going to list off a few honorable mentions. And of course, the first one is, well, Hector Neves. I didn't feel like putting him on the list. And honestly not a fan of glitch text. And the second one is, well, let's see, the second one is April O'Neil from the 1987 Ninja Turtles series. Yeah, let's look her. The only reason why she hasn't appeared is because, well, she's a different version of the April O'Neil from the 2012 series, and obviously having two Aprils would be confusing. And another honorable mention would be the Kitty Catswell. The final honorable mention would be Kitty Catswell from Tough Puppy. Hardly anyone's remembered this show, as opposed to Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, which people still talk about, and Danny himself even appears in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 and Kart Racers, I think. Yeah, you'd think that Kitty Catswell would have appeared in there as well. But people, like I said, people hardly remember the show. Aside from the people that still enjoy it. Like Kyle Fan 92. Yeah. To those people who still remember Tough Puppy, you are awesome. Although, never gotten fully into the show itself. I know cartoon animals are a common thing, but it seems like Tough Puppy is catering to more like the furry crowd. I don't know. I don't know if you guys recommend me that I should give Tough Puppy a watch. If so, let me know in the comments. Alright, on to number one. And who is it that's number one on the list? Who do you think it is? Let's go find out. Because it's not even a male. Or a non-binary. Let's find out. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the term non-binary. It sounds more like computer lingo, but whatever floats your boat. Let's go. Alright, number one is, well, you're looking at her right now. Bobby Fletcher from the Loud House. It absolutely devastates and hurts me to no end that Bobby Fletcher is not in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Yeah. And here's why. She's the only character in the show who is a race car driver, and it's such a missed opportunity not to have her in the game. And, not to mention, she is a pretty unique character in herself. Because, well, we don't get that many female race car drivers in fiction. Well, how many can you name of? There's, well, Megan Spitfire Fassler from NASCAR Racers, Rena Hayami from Racer Evolution, Gina Cavalli also from Racing Evolution, and Trixie from Speed Racer. That's it though, that's pretty much it. Yeah, she of course is a race car driver who of course is as waifu-centric as can be. Because just look at her. You definitely want to go on a date with her. And no, I'm not saying anything sexual. Don't want this video to get demonetized. And she's also voiced by Carolyn Eledge, who just so happens to be Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s niece. That is pretty cool in itself. She appeared in 2 episodes, Snow Way Out and Wheel and Deal. Her kart would have been like a miniaturized version of her stock car. Would have been obvious which kart she would have drove. And as a driver, she would have been great. And of course, would have gotten a some of her pit crew members as pit crew members in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. And get this, if you picked her alongside Lana and Lola, they would have been a triple team, triple trouble. Yeah, it's such a missed opportunity not to have her in the game. And she's probably the top pick of her being in a Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Yes, she's a minor character, but that still hasn't stopped the devs from putting in Reptar in Nickelodeon Kart Racers and Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, and he's still in the game. He's a minor character, but he's still in there. And there's just no excuse for not to have her in. Yeah, and, well, if she had the toys for everyone power-up, you would have been shouting from, shouting from this quote from War Thunder. "The enemy is preparing for artillery barrage! Repeat! The enemy is preparing for artillery barrage!" Yeah, I just like that quote better than, "Tactical nuke incoming!" I just think it's a, more, hilarious and better. Like, "You are dead" from Total Distortion being a better than "You died and wasted." Yeah, like I said, a missed opportunity not to have her in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. And she was a great pick for, well, being a driver in the game. Oh well, she can always appear in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. In fact, I actually tagged Nickelodeon in the tweet of what they think of my video. Alright, so what do you guys think of my picks? What Nickelodeon characters do you think should have appeared in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2? And which one would have been better picks for the game? Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out. Oh, and by the way, the link to my Patreon page is there just in case you want to support my channel. See ya.